Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're going to talk about XRP. I'm going to talk about a few other things as well. This comes from Jack the Rippler. Remember, Swift handles $5 trillion per day. The XRP supply is very low for the financial industry. All over X, I see people talking about different price points for XRP. And in the comments, you always have those same people saying, not with 100 billion tokens. We're never going to achieve those price points, whether it be $100, $589, or beyond. But you know, when XRP is being utilized to move the world's money, you will realize that 100 billion XRP may not be enough. And everybody always talks about burning the escrow as well. You know, if you burn that escrow right now, the price would surely move, but then it would come right back down. You know, I think the escrow is already promised to certain central banks around the world. I think Ripple made those deals a long time ago. Remittance is a common term for a family member in a foreign country sending money cross-border back home to their family. It could also be paying a bill cross-border. Ripple Payments uses XRP. Axis Bank uses XRP. And these are those rails I'm always talking about. And XRP is definitely going to run on those rails. And of course, people, when they send money back home, they want it to be fast, cheap, and secure. They don't want it to take days, and they definitely don't want it to be expensive. And that's why we will see XRP being utilized on a daily basis in the not-so-distant future. XRP non-security status acknowledged by European Corporate Governance Institute. You know, over in Europe right now, they're talking about the clarity around Ripple and XRP. These scholars cited Ripple and XRP in the context of regulatory concerns surrounding token offerings, particularly regarding securities regulations and token classification. The EU is ready to push ahead with Ripple. The UK ready to push ahead with Ripple. India is pushing ahead with Ripple. Japan is pushing ahead with Ripple. Here in the United States, these banks could already be utilizing Ripple and XRP. The problem is these banks are a bunch of pussies. You know, if they all got together and said, we're going to start to use Ripple and XRP, who's going to stop them? Gary Gensler? Of course he's not going to stop them. And if he goes to try to stop them, all they have to do is throw a little bit of money his way, and he would definitely look the other way. And they all hide behind their NDAs as well. You know, if the banks here put pressure on the U.S. government right now, we would have so many laws put in place. We would already have regulatory clarity for crypto. And that's why the rest of the world is pushing ahead of the United States. JP Morgan fined up to $350 million for rigging the markets once again. And what JP Morgan is just going to end up with another slap on the wrist. And this needs to stop in the US as well. All the corruption going on. And you know, even the politicians, they are the most corrupt. And I don't care if they're Democrat or Republican. They're all a bunch of corrupt bastards that are running this country. And they take our tax dollars and they spend it everywhere else but inside the United States. United States Treasury Secretary predicts fall of US dollar as global reserve currency. XRP could be the new digital world reserve currency, according to David Schwartz. Now, what Janet Yellen is saying is that the dollar has built enough strength to fend off any adversaries. The U.S. Secretary said in the same setting that it will not be easy for any country to devise a way to get around the dollar. However, she understands that there is a global interest in diversifying reserve currency. Since the US dollar has suffered over the past half decade, more countries are interested in their local currencies as an alternative to the greenback. Hence why BRICS has garnered so much attention as of late. Here's the way I look at the US dollar. I think it's strong enough to fight off China and India and Russia. But when all these other countries, part of Operation Sandman, are also pushing away from the US dollar, I think the US dollar doesn't have a chance going forward. Not when everyone else is pulling away from it. And it's going to lead to a massive liquidity crisis here in the United States as well. Watch the banks over this whole entire year. But Brad Garlinghouse has the solution. Take a listen.
I love the easy questions.
You might not love this one.
Uh-oh.
But I'd pay all my XRP to have you answer it. Maybe not really. With Ripple focused on providing on-demand liquidity and the world facing what's probably the biggest liquidity crisis ever, what role do you see XRP and XRP Ledger and similar technologies playing in alleviating such a crisis?
Well, so if you think about what causes those kinds of crises, one of the dynamics, and by the way, there's lots of inputs into a crisis like that. One of them is friction. One of them is time. If you can reduce friction as measured by time and cost, that's good. That's just a good thing to minimizing the risks of liquidity issues. I don't pretend that XRP is a panacea for all of these issues. What I do believe is if we can successfully integrate into the existing system, we're going to more rapidly bring the benefits of these technologies to a much, much, much broader audience than if we try to circumvent the system. So I've been incredibly pleased by the engagement we've had, ranging from the IMF to central banks. Look, Ripple's going to continue to work with those players. That's part of why we made the announcements we made this week about expanding, or really creating our presence more concretely here in Washington, D.C. And I'm optimistic that if these technologies continue to propagate across correspondent banking, but other industries, that's going to be good for any liquidity crisis.
So right now, XRP can fix any liquidity crisis. And take notice how Brad said they're not competing with anyone. They just want to get implemented into the current system so that they can fix the problems that could arise. In other words, he's not looking to compete with the US dollar, and he's not looking to compete with all these banks as well. The problem I see is that he's talking to politicians and he's talking to all these big financial players here in the United States, and they already know the plan. Collapse the current system and then let the new system rise. I think if Brad had his way, he would fix the current fiat system, but they're already looking in another direction. Federal prosecutors recommend a federal judge sentence Sam Bankman-Fried to 40 to 50 years in prison and an $11 billion fine and forfeiture. Now, what do you think Sam Bankman-Fried is going to get in the end? I think he's definitely looking at jail time. But who knows? I think he made friends with the right people in Washington. So I'm sure he will get a sentence, and then upon appeal, most likely it'll get reduced, pretty generously. Most likely he'll end up doing 5 to 10 years, and the $11 billion in fines will most likely end up being $1 billion. But that's just my thoughts on that. What are your thoughts? Put it in the comments section down below. Major financial companies, including JP Morgan, HSBC, Franklin Templeton, are flipping the switch on blockchain in 2024. Every single financial institution wants to get involved with blockchain right now and crypto, not only because it's the next big thing. It speeds everything up. It fixes everything. We are in the digital age. The days of paper are going, where everything's going to be digital in the very near future. And whoever gets there first gets the upper hand on the competition. And I think that's what we're seeing happen right now. But it's happening at such a small level still. I think once we finally see one company push ahead of the rest, that's when mass adoption will happen. Say goodbye to the 6% real estate commission. The NAR announced Friday a settlement with groups of home sellers agreeing to end landmark antitrust lawsuits by paying $418 million in damages and eliminating rules on commissions. This will impact millions of realtors across the nation. And now you see it beginning. The commissions are going to drastically be reduced. And this is going to happen very fast. We're going to see a lot of realtors quit their jobs because of this. This is something that hasn't changed in like a half a century. Think about how big that actually is. But this could also start to bring down the rent prices and the home prices as well. Because I think people are paying way too much for rent, and even look at mortgages now. Something has to give. And I said it multiple times. They're going to fix a lot of this through tokenization. Watch and see, because that's going to be huge all throughout this year as well. This comes from King Valex. Universal basic income, just in time, popping up all over. All major success. And it was already happening right when the Federal Reserve talking about CBDC and the bank funding program ended. And you see, this is inside the United States. Guaranteed Income Program proposed to offer $100 million. Asking to allocate $100 million for guaranteed income. And this is going to be all around the United States in the coming months. I think this is testing that's actually happening. What they want to do is they want to see how this changes people's lives, how they can do this, and how is it going to affect certain things. Because they never like to do anything all at once. They like to test it out little by little. But UBI is definitely coming, especially as AI picks up over the course of this year and next year. AI is going to advance so fast, and people are going to lose their jobs. Enrich yourself before it happens. Senators Jack Reed and LaFonza Butler urged the SEC to block crypto ETPs, citing risk from poor disclosure and thin liquidity. Coinbase's Paul Grohl counters, highlighting Ether's high trading volume and crypto's role in financial modernization. So the Democrats are asking Gary Gensler to stop the ETFs. Is he going to do it? Most likely, because he does whatever they ask him to do. It's the same reason he's been trying to crush crypto all along the way. But I think all those ETFs are going to be delayed and delayed time and time again, but they're eventually going to get approved. Now, when it comes to XRP, I said it multiple times. I don't even think we need an ETF. I'm more grounded in the utility behind XRP. And, you know, nobody knows how that's going to affect the price of XRP going forward either. I see people saying, we're going to hit $1,000 very quick per XRP. I don't see that happening through ETFs or IPOs. I do, however, see that happening through actual utility and demand for XRP. But you know, everything is happening so fast this year. If you take notice, even this current run in crypto, people are saying it seems like something's off. Everything's speeding up and it's picking up at a very fast pace. So are we going to see that, you know, Bitcoin top off in 2024? Nobody really knows yet. People are still speculating on that. I do know we are going to see a massive run up for XRP. I don't know how long that's going to last. I would like to see utility, even if it's on a small level, kick in along the way, because that could be an absolute game changer. But until it all happens, you got to stay patient and stay positive. Let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.